Well, tonight is the last show of the season, and Shay and I have decided that our end of the year gifts to each other would be jokes.
Yeah, so we're making each other read jokes live on air that the other person has never seen before.
Yeah, and the idea, Michael, isn't to try to sabotage each other, it's just to give each other fun jokes.
Uh-huh. Why don't you go first?
Okay.
Yeah.
A student in Texas who is nicknamed White Lightning set a high school record by running the 100-meter dash in 9.98 seconds. Coincidentally, people call me White Lightning because I also finish in under 10 seconds.
Doctors in Iowa have confirmed a dog disease that can be passed on to humans. Fine, I'll wear a condom. Oh, wow.
Okay. A new report finds that as people move into formerly wild areas of Africa, human activity is disrupting chimpanzee culture. Incidentally, chimpanzee culture is also what my grandpa calls hip-hop. Why?
Whoa. I wouldn't have said that. Pope Francis ended a Vatican summit by promising the Catholic Church would confront the clergy sex abuse head on instead of their usual way, face down, ass up. I think this will be good.
Yeah, I'm sure. A substitute teacher in North Carolina has resigned after she reportedly told a class of elementary students that Martin Luther King Jr. killed himself. In her defense, he is the one who decided to keep running his mouth. Why? You're gonna get me murdered.
A new study shows that the average American touches their mobile device more than 2,000 times a day. Only 2,000 times, said my penis.
Okay. A church in Massachusetts has created a nativity scene that comments on the immigration debate by placing the baby Jesus in a cage, where he belongs. This is on cards. I want to switch it up a little. Shay didn't write this one. This is all me.
I like to hear this.
Last week was National Rosa Parks Day, or as we call it in my house, Uppity Bus Passenger Day. Oh, God. Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari, for the first time, denied months-old rumors that he had died and been replaced by a look-alike from Sudan. See, even Africans can't tell black people apart.
A new report shows that Hurricane Florence was the wettest in history. The previous record for wetness was set on the opening night of Magic Mike. A new interview with England's Prince Andrew is being called a total disaster after he said his friend Jeffrey Epstein conducted himself in a manner unbecoming. I don't know, from what I've read, it sounded like he'd be coming all the time. That's terrible, man.
Recent polls show that Pete Buttigieg has only 4% support among African Americans, but that'll change once Pete announces his running mate, the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Wow.
The bat used by Babe Ruth to hit his 500th home run was auctioned off this week. Also, I'll be auctioning off the bat I used to keep my neighborhood white.
Researchers are testing a new method to treat cancer by injecting the cells with the herpes virus. So good news, if you've ever had sex with me, you might have the cure for cancer. Oh, man.
Okay, I'm already so worried. Okay, it says, okay, time out. I refuse to read this last joke, not because it's racist, but because there's a black man holding my cue card. It says I can't work like this, so Merry Christmas, homeboy, you're fired.
Fired the man on Christmas, Colin.
Many doctors are saying that they have a hard time convincing their black patients to agree to take the COVID vaccine. Well, maybe they should try telling them it makes you immune from paying child support.
Whoa. That's pretty racist, Colin. It was revealed that the sequel to the movie Hocus Pocus is in the works for Disney Plus, which judging by this picture is a movie about every white woman I've ever slept with. Cool. Well, yeah, that's fine.
This week marks the 65th anniversary of Rosa Parks refusing to give up her seat on an Alabama bus. And I just wish that all black people could follow her example of sitting down and shutting up.
The Palm Beach mansion, once owned by Jeffrey Epstein, will soon be demolished. And I'm honestly shocked that they would demolish a place where I have so many fond memories. Rest in power, King. I'll take it from me.
Oh, God. It was announced that Creed singer Scott Stapp will play Frank Sinatra in an upcoming movie. But the good news is Sammy Davis Jr. will be played by Scarlett Johansson. An obese monkey in Thailand named Godzilla has been sent to a special facility to lose weight. Officials realized the monkey was overweight when a bunch of black guys kept hitting on it.
That's pretty racist, Colin. Las Vegas is opening a pop-up vaccine site in a strip club. And don't worry, the strippers say the vaccine is a lot like Michael Che. Very quick, and you can barely feel it go in.
Warner Brothers is producing a new movie in which Superman is black. And a black Superman actually makes a lot of sense when you remember that Superman was abandoned by his parents as a baby. Well, I knew you'd like that one, so here's another one. Warner Brothers is producing a new movie in which Superman is black. In this version, black Superman's kryptonite is an honest day's work.
Doubling down on black Superman. San Diego police are being investigated after video surfaced of them using excessive force on a homeless black man accused of urinating in public. But I say great work keeping our streets clean, boys. Yes, sir. Anything the police do is all right with old Mikey Che. I know I'm probably the only black man brave enough to say this on live TV, but blue lives matter even more.
It's really nice of
Okay. Whoa.
This week, construction began on a new hip-hop museum in the Bronx. And I know that we've had a lot of fun with me reading racist jokes that Michael writes for me, but because our country is already divided enough, I'd like to use my platform to say something that everyone of all races can agree on. Woody Allen is innocent. He did nothing wrong. And before I go, I just thought of another punchline for that Black Superman story. Black Superman will be referred to as the Man of Steel, spelled S-T-E-A-L.
But before we start, there's someone very special here who was last on this show, season 3, 46 years ago. Poet, author, and activist. Please welcome Dr. Hattie Davis. And yeah, Colin, you can start with your first joke.
Hi. Oh my God. A group of geneticists have announced plans to bring back the dodo and reintroduce it to Africa. And if you ask me, I can think of at least one dodo I'd like to reintroduce to Africa.
The woman's an activist, Colin. Last month, Beyonce posted a photo on Instagram of herself in a chrome Versace dress and platinum blonde hair that many people online described as too white. In fact, Beyonce looked so white that I was finally attracted to her. That is, wow.
The Adult Survivors Act, which allowed sex abuse victims to file lawsuits even after the statute of limitations expired, has resulted in several new suits. Figures, because bitches love bringing up old stuff. Am I right?
The woman marched with King. MJ, the musical about the life of Michael Jackson, has become one of the highest grossing shows on Broadway. And my review of the acting is the same as my opinion of MJ's trial. Michael is amazing, but the kids are not believable at all. But I don't want to end like that. It's the holidays, and I want to end on a positive, uplifting note, especially with all the turmoil in the Middle East right now. So I want to say from the bottom of my heart, whether you're Jewish or Muslim, y'all need Jesus. Wow. Oh, wow. Wow.
That was really,
Wow.
that was a great message.
Wow.
That was a great message.
Colin. Wow.
That's a great message. If people can find you on Instagram, that's cool. New York State now allows movie theaters to serve alcohol, which is how I'm finally able to enjoy my wife's little art movies. I'm kidding, honey. I love all of your movies. And if you ask me, you're an even better Black Widow than Coretta Scott King.
Before we start, last time we did this, I hired an actress to pretend to be a civil rights hero. And that was low. So to make it up to you this time, I invited an actual practicing rabbi. Please welcome Rabbi Jill. Go ahead, Tom.
It happens to all of us, okay? And let me tell you another thing. Donald Trump is about as bummed out about potentially missing this high school graduation as he was about missing Vietnam. He didn't want to go to either one. And of course, the whole Trump clan is getting in on this graduation travesty. Don Jr. called the judge pure evil. Eric wrote Judge Mershon is truly heartless and not letting a father attend his son's graduation. Ivanka posted a moto thing. Okay, she doesn't care. I'm sure she'll get to it soon.
The crowd was already laughing as Jimmy Kimmel walked toward his desk. But the atmosphere changed the moment Donald Trump's newest tack flashed across the screen behind him. This was not just another angry complaint about ratings. It was not simply Trump calling late-night hosts untalented, desperate, low-rated, or jealous. This time, Trump had brought his own family into the dispute, mentioning Barron in a way that appeared intentionally designed to make himself seem more powerful, more respected, and impossible to challenge.
Right now, Liger Woods doubled down on his claim that the judge won't let him go to his son Barron's high school graduation, even though the judge has not made a ruling on that. He wrote, "Who will explain for me to my wonderful son Barron, who is a great student at a fantastic school, that his dad will likely not be allowed to attend his graduation ceremony?" I don't know, seems like maybe you should be the one.
The segment began with a host saying, before Kimmel answers, take a look at how Trump turns to family as a defense when the jokes start hitting a little too close. The footage then played. Trump took aim at Kimmel, ridiculed his show, called him a loser, and then brought family into the discussions, claiming that even his son had more dignity and intelligence than the comedians who spent their nights joking about him. The crowd in the clip responded with cheers, but inside Kimmel's studio, the mood was noticeably different. People were watching closely, waiting to see whether Kimmel would take the bait. He didn't.
He knew the youth vote. You know, we won the youth vote by 36 points. And he was saying, Dad, you got to go out and do this one and that one. And we did a lot of them. And he respects them all. He understood them very well. And he said, Dad, you got to go out, do Joe Rogan, do all these guys. And we did. We did. And Joe Rogan was great. They were all great, right? Aaron, they were all good. He understood them.
Kimmel looked directly into the camera and said, Barron is not the punchline. The real punchline is a grown man who keeps dragging his family into battles that he started himself. The studio immediately burst into applause. That single remark completely shifted the narrative. Kimmel was not making fun of Barron. He was defending a clear boundary while exposing the strategy behind Trump's remarks at the same time. Trump wanted the exchange to become a trap. If Kimmel responded directly, Trump could accuse him of attacking his family. If Kimmel remained silent, Trump could declare victory. Instead, Kimmel discovered a third path. He refused to turn Barron into the joke and made Trump's strategy the real punchline instead.
You are the one who paid off the porn star, right? So I vote you. Again, even though the judge hasn't made any decision about whether Trump can go to the graduation or not, the MAGAsphere is furious about it.
Barron's his baby. That's his youngest child. Obviously, he wants to be, I think it's May 17th is the graduation, Caroline. I almost think Trump should call the judge's bluff. And because I think people will rally around him. Okay, this is a glorified, error in paperwork.
Some paperwork error there. You've never accidentally forgot to check a box or keep your pants on when a porn star comes to your hotel?
Kimmel then brought the energy in the room down and made a broader point. He said that family should not be used as a political shield whenever a powerful figure feels embarrassed by criticism. Barron did not write the post. Barron did not start the conflict. Barron was not the one standing behind a desk making accusations. Kimmel argued that the only person responsible for pulling Barron into this comedy battle was Trump himself. A commentator introduced the shift by saying, "Now watch how Kimmel turns Trump's act of protection into a public confession." Kimmel went on to describe a familiar pattern. When Trump likes the image it creates, family becomes public. When it benefits him politically, family becomes campaign material. When a photo helps him appear gentler, calmer, or more respected, it is displayed everywhere. But the moment someone questions why that image is being used, everyone is suddenly told that the subject is completely off limits.
I gave him a shout out last night. The place went crazy.
You too, buddy. No, it's not.
Kimmel leaned forward and said, "You cannot place your family in the spotlight for applause and then blame everyone else for noticing it." The audience responded with strong applause because the point was direct and unmistakable. It was not an attack on Barron. It was a criticism of the double standard. Trump wanted to benefit from the symbolism of family without taking responsibility for repeatedly using it. Then footage of Trump's reaction appeared on the screen. He was furious and defensive, accusing Kimmel of being sick, low-class, desperate, and cruel. Kimmel watched the clip calmly before turning back to the audience and explaining that Trump's reaction proved his point exactly. No one in the studio had insulted Barron. No one had mocked him. No one had made him the target. Kimmel had only stated the obvious. A parent should never use a child's name as a weapon in a dispute with a comedian.
White House screening of Anaconda this weekend? He's out of his mind. He's talking about Melania. He's trying to give her compliments. She's behind him looking like she's about to throw up. He talked about how much Melania loves children and then seemed to forget they have one together.
She loves children, and she's got a wonderful boy, and she's very proud of the boy.
Well, I'm sure he just misspoke. I'm sure he must know that Barron is his son, too.
She loves her son.
By the end of the exchange, Trump's reaction had completely backfired. He wanted people to be angry with Kimmel for supposedly crossing a line, but Kimmel demonstrated that Trump was the one who had brought that line into the spotlight. Trump wanted the audience to see him as a devoted and protective father. Instead, Kimmel led them to see a politician using family imagery as a shield against criticism. Trump was looking for outrage, but Kimmel gave the audience clarity. Kimmel ended the segment with one calm remark. The simplest way to keep Barron out of late-night jokes is to stop using him as protection for punchlines. The studio immediately erupted into applause. Trump had tried to paint Kimmel as cruel, yet Kimmel ended up making Trump's reaction appear calculated, defensive, and fully exposed. Barron never needed to be attacked because the strategy had already undermined itself.